We're now going to go on to the next question, which was asked by many residents in different forums, and we'll start with Ms. Hildebrand and then continue down in order. Do you support a pedestrian-friendly downtown? And if so, how much retail space would be required? Where would it be located? And how are you going to make it happen? Starting with Ms. Hildebrand.
It's a great question. It's a question that we get asked in every forum. It's also a question that we've been grappling with ever since I became on the city council. The downtown, if you want to, we are never going to have a Main Street downtown like they have in Pleasanton and Livermore. Our downtown is the area that is now referred to as downtown, and we have those iconic signs out there. That is what is traditionally downtown to many residents here in Dublin, new and old. To make it walkable and pedestrian friendly is a complete challenge that we recognize and realize as we have been here working, representing the residents. We can have a small Main Street feel if we can get the Grafton Station area moving and that retail area built. Again, Kaiser is one of those opportunities. I think when the medical buildings come in, it may help with some of that retail encouragement coming up. They need a place to eat, they need a place to shop. That being said, our downtown area is very challenging in the sense that it is owned by multiple different property owners. Many of them live overseas. Working with them to encourage them to retrofit their buildings, to renovate, to allow for us to build walkable areas is the challenge that we face because we are a city that does not have redevelopment. The state does no longer have redevelopment. So therefore, we have to partner with them to encourage them to renovate the area in so that we can make it a little more friendly when it comes to being a downtown area. I think that what we have to understand is our downtown is going to always be different, and we need to find retail neighborhood areas that give us that feel that are neighborhood but semi-regional serving so that we can have those Main Street, we can have that Main Street feel, but know that our downtown area is still always going to be where we as residents know where our downtown area is.
I'm sorry.
My time's up.
It's your turn.
It's your turn.
Now, Sean asked me for $1, so he wants to use it as a prop. Sean, let me just give that to you, because I have that, and it's my time, and I know I'll move fast. We absolutely...
That's more than $1.
That's a 20.
Well, that's a bill, that's what he
I'll
wants.
give it back, Brad. I'll give it right.
We absolutely need pedestrian-friendly...
I need it for my campaign.
We absolutely need pedestrian-friendly, strollable, walkable retail. That's what our commercial task force came up with when we asked them. When I talk to people in their living room, in their neighborhoods, every single evening, that came up high on the list. We need a place where we can shop that is strollable, walkable, pedestrian-friendly, and I'm glad that we finally now have that on the radar screen. We've had retail come into Dublin over the last 10 years. It just has been more of a strip mall. Even the Persimmon Place, Whole Foods, Nordstrom Rack, a wonderful development, is still not pedestrian-friendly. However, we've identified that now very recently as something that we want to have built into every project coming before us. We see that off Tassajara is coming in. We see that Grafton Station is going to have that. Now, in the downtown area, as Ms. Hildebrand mentioned, every commercial broker I talk to brings up the same point. Fragmented ownership, not local but distant, requires us to reach out to them, reach across the ocean actually, in some cases they're overseas, and get them to partner with us like we've done with the Village Parkway and the facade improvement program that we've put into place. And if you see some of the newer updated buildings, it's a wonderful example of how the city can help work with owners of properties to make them more beautiful, and we'll be able to work with them to make them more pedestrian-friendly in a redeveloped environment. I'm confident we can do that, and I'm committed to providing pedestrian-friendly retail and commercial opportunities here in Dublin.
Mr. Costello.
Hello. As I borrowed this from this nice gentleman next to me, this is what it's going to take to get you a great downtown. Everybody wants this dollar bill, this $20 bill. They want it because they are selling their products. So they make make their parking lots as big as possible, to house as many cars as possible, to have as many people go in there and buy from them as much as possible. You will see the smaller shops have smaller parking, so no one else can park there except for their stubs. But you go to the larger places like Target, other places that are huger, you get a bigger place. Each time that we give up one of these dollars in our taxes for the downtown, I feel that it's not going there. Because I've been running for office for either city council or mayor for the last 30 years. And I want to make sure that if we're going to have a downtown, that it is exactly for the disabled and the regular people and the bikes and everything like that, because that is what it's going to take. A lot of this. Thank you very much.
Mr. Hart.
Well, Casey and David kind of already gave you the background with regard to what we currently have in the downtown area. So it was a great description, so I'm not going to repeat that, but I would certainly say the same thing. We all recognize that. So there's also the pedestrian downtown area that we've remodeled for Golden Gate Avenue. Hopefully everyone has kind of seen that. That's going to be the model for the entire city. We've approved our bicycle safety plan. It'll be similar to that which you see on Golden Gate Avenue. It's extremely important to have bicycle and pedestrian safety throughout the downtown area. What really hasn't been mentioned yet thus far is that I'm of the mindset that with all of the commercial development that we potentially may have, our downtown area will not be what our current downtown area is now. We had a great discussion about this, and the Commercial Development Task Force kind of also had this discussion. There may be a different area of downtown, what we know now currently of downtown. So we have to continue with that forcing the developers to ensure that they've got pedestrian safety and, of course, for wheelchair safety and pedestrian safety. We've got to make sure that we write that in and incorporate that in. We'll continue to do that. David mentioned we've got the facade improvement plan. We also have the parking reduction plan. We've kind of changed the parking regulations within downtown to try to encourage more development downtown. We've done that. And again, that hasn't really stimulated a lot of outgrowth from that. And of course, the facade program. We also have a tax reimbursement program. We've also tried to do our own economic incentives for downtown, and it's been a struggle. I mean, I'm not going to try to blow any smoke. It's been a struggle to try to identify that downtown area. We're not going to have one, as Casey mentioned, like Dublin like Pleasant Center or Livermore. We're still going to continue to try. I think there's still some opportunities in downtown Dublin that we know of right now, but I also think in the future, and I'm talking 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, when we have, all right, the Whole Foods and all the areas, they may now kind of bifurcate into a downtown walkable pedestrian-friendly area. So it's something to look forward towards the future.
You each get a chance for rebuttal, and I think representing the people, I would suggest that in that rebuttal, the specifics that people are looking for be part of your rebuttal. So starting with Ms. Hildebrand, please, you have 1 minute for rebuttal.
When you mean specifics, what do you mean? Can you?
Yes, do you support, I'll reread the question. Do you support a pedestrian-friendly downtown, and if so, how much retail space would be required? Where would it be located, and how are you going to make it happen? So rebuttal starting with Ms. Hildebrand.
Okay. Well, again, what I want to reiterate is that I don't want to make Dublin unrecognizable to the residents who have come here before us. And many of these residents are sitting here. They are long-term residents, and to them, downtown is what we know as downtown. What that takes to revitalize that as downtown and how much commercial space, it's really about infilling some of that parking, developing some opportunities for bike and ped paths throughout that, and bringing in a variety of different retail there. That's your challenge. Where we can make a difference is in neighborhood serving retail areas that are local neighborhood retail draws with a small regional area. Grafton is a good example of one of those ideas in moving forward with having small neighborhood serving downtown Main Street feels throughout our community. And I think that is where we're lacking. But I think that's the vision we need to go in and not have one downtown, but have neighborhood retail centers throughout our community and keep the downtown as we know it.
Mr. Howard?
So, in my opinion, the downtown area will become more pedestrian friendly largely through renovation. Some buildings will have to be torn down and paved over and rebuilt, and it'll be configured in a different way. The parking lot will become a building, the building will become a parking lot. We'll have to reconfigure, but when we do it, it'll be done in such a way that allows for people to park in one area and then walk and shop and be in a pedestrian-friendly environment. We have the opportunity in our greenfield locations, like off Tassajara, like the promenade land called the promenade, like the other side of Grafton Station, where it's greenfield land where we can build it that way from the very beginning. When I go to Sunnyvale and see the faux Main Street that they built, we can accomplish that. So we will have these areas throughout Dublin, and it'll be a combination of renovation and building from scratch.
Mr. Costello?
When I first moved to Dublin in '84, Doherty Road was the end of Dublin. And I liked that because we were small. We were only four miles wide, 4 miles deep, and everything was happy. We didn't need to go clear over there. And now, if you were to measure it, Doherty Road is now the downtown, and there's nothing downtown about it. If we keep the downtown of the Village Parkway downtown, we have to make sure that when the city made the new stuff and the things for the trees, I could lose a tire because they're so big.
We have to cut you off to be fair to all the candidates. I apologize for that. Mr. Hart?
Some may remember that Dublin used to be known as the fast food capital of the world. And although we've gotten away from that a little bit, we still need to stress our facade program, our tax incentive program, all right? Our parking reduction program. We still need to work on that. We still need to work on, even though they're overseas, we still need to work on our owners. We have our economic development department, all right, working on that every day, looking for opportunities to expand, to renovate, to remodel, all right? It's going to happen. It's just going to take more time, and that's the best way that I can say it. We're committed. I think certainly we're all committed, and the next mayor will be committed as well. It's just a matter of time, unfortunately. And yes, I'm supportive of the pedestrian, of course. So.